how are you supposed to find peace again? And the answer is forgiveness. And that might be hard to hear because I'm almost guaranteeing that if you are in a place of deep heartbreak right now, that you are not in a place where you're ready to forgive. And I've got the answer. I've got the answer for you, so just stick with me. Let's roll the clock back. I was married for 10 years. I had several children. We had all of the ingredients for disaster. There was substance abuse, there's a super toxic relationship, unhealthy attachment styles, codependency. It was a mess. It was a mess. We had gotten an argument. She said a bunch of stuff about me that just was not true. And not only did it shatter my heart and crush my soul, I ended up doing 53 months in prison over this. I was in a place of heartbreak, of anger, of bitterness, of resentment. My whole life was ruined. My future was over. Everything I had worked for was gone. And I remember a specific moment in time. It was a couple years into my sentence, and I was angry and I was complaining and droning on and on and on. And a good friend of mine had spoke some truth into my life and said, dude, you've got to forgive and move on. And I was like, how could I possibly get over this? How could I ever move on? My life's over. And he said, well, Jesus calls us to forgive others so that we can receive his forgiveness. And so that turned a light bulb on for me. That was a paradigm shift. I thought, oh, okay, well, I don't have to do it because I'm ready. I have to do it out of obedience. And so I started just verbalizing it in my prayers. Lord, today I choose to forgive her. And prayed and asked God to give me a heart that actually meant it, because I did not mean it at the time. And what happened was really interesting. Over time, as I did this, as I obediently chose to forgive this person, God in his endless grace showed up and started to change my heart. And instead of being bitter and angry and hurt, I slowly started to heal and actually spent the rest of that time focusing on me and my walk with God and becoming the person that I am today. That started to lay the foundation of my life right now. And my life today is amazing. I was able to rebuild myself from the ground up, from the ashes, and become a completely new person because of the peace I was able to get by letting go, by forgiving. And it was not something I was able to do on my own. It was something God had to do for me, but I had to step out in faith and be obedient first. And so I obeyed the call to action, and then God met me there and did for me what I could not do for myself. And so the encouragement here is that if you are in a place where your life is in shambles, your heart is a mess, what I want you to know is a couple key points here. A, these are hard truths, but they're truths. The person that broke your heart is a whole lot less affected by this than you are. The only person suffering right now by hanging on to this is you. It's not them. They knew about it before they did it. They probably planned it, and as a result have had a whole lot more time than you to prepare for it. You may have been blindsided or caught off guard. Whatever the situation is, you are the one suffering. And if you continue to drink the poison of bitterness and resentment and hope that the other person is going to die, that's fruitless. Let me tell you what. The only way out and the only way forward is through, and through is the pathway of forgiveness. And so this secret formula for forgiving when it seems impossible is to just step out in faith. Step out in faith and ask God. And this is my recommendation. If you are in that place right now where this just seems impossible, I want to give you a challenge, a 30-day challenge. For the next 30 days, at least once a day, just say out loud, Lord, I choose to forgive, and fill in the blank. Say the person's name out loud. Lord, I choose to forgive that person. And then pray and continue to ask God to give you a heart that's capable of truly forgiving and letting go. And just wait. Just sit in it and wait. Because just wait, that's the challenge. God is going to show up in His time and on time. And He is going to do for you what you cannot do for yourself. That has been my experience. And the reason I shared my story was because I want to paint a picture of how upset I was and how broken I was and how far away from forgiveness that I was, because I can relate to what you're going through. I'm not speaking from a place of, oh, I read this somewhere and I'm telling you to do it, or I heard this and so you should try it. I'm coming from a place of where I was desperate and I was broken and I was hopeless. And God showed up in my life and He did a work in my life. And I don't have resentments today about that situation. In fact, I look at what from the outside, the world would say the worst thing that ever happened in my life. I look at it and I'm like, wow, that's the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm clean, I'm sober, I've got healthy relationships, I've got a whole army of people around me and support and love and just this amazing life. I'm in ministries. My life is incredible today because of that situation. But I don't think that I would be where I'm at if I hadn't been able to forgive and shift my focus away from what I lost to what I was going to gain and start moving forward and building the life that I have today. Because it took a lot of work to build this life. And it's really hard to build a future when you are focused on the past. And so if you are in a place right now where you are just so broken and stuck in the past, and the heartbreak's already happened, it's in the past, and it's holding you there. It's preventing you from moving into the future. Forgiveness is the key here. And so I want you to just try that challenge for 30 days. I believe and I claim it that God is going to show up and do a work in your life. This is an actionable step that you can take. And that's what we talk about here, right? That's what this channel is about. So these videos are about, I'm giving you actionable steps you can take after heartbreak, after loss, after grief, things that you can do daily. What our peace is, what this looks like, not on Sunday when you're hyped up off the sermon and prayed up and worship songed up. No, Monday through Saturday when you're running on empty, what are the actionable steps? And this is one actionable step that you can take every single day. If you like these videos, if you're finding them helpful, please like and subscribe.